it's Karen, and I'm back with my first design team project for the month of October for AngeldreamCraftsKim on Etsy. And I will leave links to Kim's beautiful Etsy shop in the description box below, so please go over and have a look at the wonderful goodies she has in the shop. And I will also leave links to the talented designers who are creating beautiful and inspiring projects with products from her store. And that will all be in the description box below. There's also contact information below if you wish to contact me about anything, and or you can leave a comment below. So for the project, I decided to alter this little bear that I had. I have a couple of them actually, and they're like this, sort of a little like a chenille, really soft, cute little bear. They're about 6 inches tall and really cute. And that's what it looked like to start with, and this is what she turned out as. She's currently sitting on a little container, but she also does stand, and I'll show you that as well, just because the princess dress is so big that it actually allows her to stand. What I did was I started with some sparkly tulle that I had in my stash, and I created the underskirt, and then I used the beautiful mesh and sequin sparkly trim from Kim's shop, and I used that from the waist down to here on the dress, and I hand stitched it all around the waist. And then I wanted to add these beautiful bead trim that Kim gave me in my design team package. It's just so pretty. So I hand stitched it to the bottom of this trim using the ribbon that the beads are attached to, and adding little pink seed beads and little stitches in order to attach it all the way around on the bottom. So that created the skirt, and I'll just stand her up so you can see. There she is standing up, and it's just a really full, pretty skirt with all that, the sparkly bits and the beads and everything. Some spots on these little flowers, I did add a touch of glue on the back, but I didn't connect, only to the mesh fabric, not to the skirt underneath. That stays all separate. And I added in some of these little acrylic flowers that I had in my stash and some flat back pearls. And then on the front of her dress, to create the little front of her dress here, I used this, and this is all I have left. And this is another, such a pretty trim in Kim's shop, another shade of pink. All the pinks were sort of very similar to, probably are the closest in color, and they're more of a peachy pink. And then I used a little bits of this one from Kim's shop, darker pink. And then of course this one is more of a baby pink. And then of course the pretty white beads. So it's a pink and white collection with this little tan bear, which I just think turned out so adorable. That trim here, I just used it, I ran it around her shoulders, down in the front, and then around to the back. And that created the top of the dress with all like almost little sleeves. And then this little bow is from that really pretty bright pink trim. And this is the way that it is. And I just turned it around and made that's a bow. And I used that with a little spray, and I just hand stitched it on there. I'll just zoom in so you can see it up close. You can see I added some of the little pink beads that I used to add this on to the bottom of this fabric for the dress. I used those same beads to add that on. I tried to hand sew as much as possible because using glue on anything like this starts to get really messy, especially with mesh fabrics. So I chose to do a lot of hand sewing. The beads around her neck are from, originally I received a pretty bow of beads in my design team package, and I chose to take it apart. And these beads, I just left them on the wire. They're all on a wire and they're easy to twist. So I just kept a string of them and did that around her neck. And then when I show you the back, I'll show you the bow that I created for the back. On her wrist here, I just put a ring of the little pink seed beads that I used on her dress, and I added on one of those little butterflies that I have been creating with a little bit of pink wedding bridal applique from Kim's shop, some little seed beads, and a couple of beads on the filament for the antennae. And then on her head is a collection of this pretty trim, which I have very little left, but one of these flowers and one of the smaller ones to the side here, and again stitched on with those little pink beads. And then a second one, I used one and then another one on top from this lace, and then one of the flowers from the bridal trim and a bead, and I stitched that on. And then it extends right down the back of her head there, and we'll see that when we go to the back. And oh, and I put little earrings in her ears, and again I used the pretty pink beads that were on the wire that Kim gave me, and I added them, I stitched them into her ears there. So I think that's everything on the front of her dress. She's such a little cutie. And then this is the back, and I'll show you, actually she's got a cute little pair of pantaloons I made her as well. So here on the back of her head is another bit of that peachy pink trim and stitched on with the seed beads. And there's the back of the necklace, sort of a miniature of what the bow looked like that Kim gave me. It was much larger. And so what I did was I took a section of, because when you took it apart, there were different lengths, but this was one of the sections. And I just rewound it because it's all on wire. And I rewound it with 2 loops and 2 smaller loops, and then did one through the center and then ended with the tails. So I recreated one that would fit on the back of her dress. And then that's the back of her dress. Again, same process for putting all of it together. This is just the back. And then those are her little legs she's standing up on. Well, basically the skirt's holding her up. Underneath is all this beautiful sequin tulle. And then here's her little pantaloons that I created for her. So I used this same trim here that Kim had in the shop. She might still have this in the shop too. It's such a pretty trim. And I created the bottoms and then a little piece of it for the back, and then some of the bows going up her butt. I added one of my little ribbons that says Handmade. I just added that at the top there. And then at the front, it's the same idea. 2 of the little loopy parts of this trim, and then the top part cut separately, and then I hand stitched it all on there to look like one full piece. And that just reminded me of my days of making Barbie doll clothes, because that's exactly how I used to do them. And there she is, standing up, so pretty. But she also, this is just a little round box that I had, and her legs do bend, and so she sits really nicely on a box as well. A round one is really nice because you can really puff the skirt out. But she also looks super cute just standing. So she'd be really cute on a little girl's dresser. You could do the box up like a little jewelry box, and that could be a special, very special little gift for a little girl. And you know for sure of a little girl that would just love to have that. So that is my design team project for my first one for October. And again, links in the description box below to AngeldreamCraftsKim on Etsy, and to the talented designers. And thank you for stopping by. Thank you to all my subscribers. I welcome any new subscribers, and I want you to know how much I appreciate you, and I will see you all soon. Bye for now.